Hey everyone, welcome to our deep dive. We're going to be rewiring those brains and habits today,
Yes,
unlocking that potential,
absolutely.
all with a little help from Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Yes, breaking the habit of being yourself.
Really going to be rethinking how our thoughts can actually shape our reality.
It's true. And it is really amazing because Dr. Dispenza, he just really emphasizes how incredibly powerful our brains are.
Yeah.
Just think about it for a second.
Okay.
Our brains, they generate more electrical impulses in a single day
Gold.
than all the cell phones in the entire world combined.
All the cell phones.
Isn't that wild?
That's wild. That's a lot of power just humming away up there.
It is.
It really makes you wonder, are we even tapping into a fraction of that?
That is the question.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Dr. Dispenza dives into
Okay.
in his book, How to Tap into That Power.
Okay.
So he talks about this fascinating study about learning to play the piano,
Oh.
where you have one group that physically practiced
Okay.
and then another group that only imagined playing.
Wait, so just thinking about playing the piano had an effect?
Exactly. That's what's so amazing.
Wow.
The group that just mentally rehearsed actually developed
Okay.
similar neural connections to those who physically practiced.
So my brain can't tell the difference between me actually doing something and like really vividly imagining it?
Well, Dispenza calls this remembering the future. So you're essentially creating that neural pathway in your brain before the experience even happens.
So it's not just positive thinking then.
Yeah.
It's like intentional mental rehearsal.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
But there's a catch.
Oh.
Just like learning an instrument
Right.
one time isn't enough.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember the study found that random playing didn't create those neural connections?
Okay, so it has to be like intentional.
Intentional consistency.
Insistent. Okay.
Practice is key.
So just like rereading a favorite book, right?
Yeah.
You deepen your understanding
Yeah.
each time you revisit it.
Exactly.
So if we want to rewire our habits,
Yep.
it's about consistent mental focus.
Yeah.
But what exactly are we trying to rewire here?
Well, Dr. Dispenza, he breaks down personality as the combination of our thoughts,
Okay.
our actions, and our feelings.
Okay.
And, they're all intertwined.
Okay.
And they're shaping our reality.
Wow.
And he even gets into describing the three parts of the brain that are involved.
Okay.
You have the neocortex for thinking,
Okay.
then the limbic system for emotions,
Okay.
and then the cerebellum,
Okay.
which houses our subconscious.
So 3 brains working together? That's a lot to juggle.
It is, but Dispenza says we need to flip the script.
What do you mean?
So instead of the usual think-do-be model,
Right.
he proposes be-do-think.
Be, do, think.
Yeah, so it's about embodying the change you want to see first.
So instead of waiting to feel like a different person, I act as if I already am.
Exactly. It's about genuinely shifting your internal state.
I like that.
Yeah,
It's a lot more proactive.
yeah.
But how does this whole rewiring idea connect to the bigger picture?
Like the universe.
Yeah, like the universe.
Okay, so to explain that,
Okay.
Dispenza uses this contrast between Newtonian
Okay.
and quantum physics.
Quantum physics, all right.
Okay, so think about how people used to believe the Earth was flat.
Right.
Then came this realization
Okay.
that it was round.
Okay, flat Earth versus round Earth.
Yes,
I see where you're going with this.
that's the analogy.
Okay.
Quantum physics challenges our assumptions about reality
Mm-hmm.
in a similar way.
Okay, but what does quantum physics have to do with my thoughts and feelings?
Well, let's take this experiment called the double slit experiment.
Okay.
So scientists, they fired particles at a barrier with 2 slits in it.
Okay.
Now, instead of these particles going through one or the other,
Yeah.
they went through both slits at the same time.
Whoa, how is that even possible?
Oh, that's the thing.
Yeah.
At the quantum level,
Yeah.
energy acts like a wave, not a solid particle,
Okay.
suggesting this deeper interconnectedness than we even realize. And if we think about thoughts
Right.
as energy,
Okay.
this has some pretty profound implications
Oh, yeah.
for their potential to actually influence the world around us.
So our thoughts are like waves just rippling outward, shaping reality.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
This is getting pretty mind-bending.
It is.
But how do we actually put this be to think model into practice?
Yeah.
Like, where do we even begin?
Well, Dispenza uses this great analogy about Michelangelo sculpting David.
Okay.
So when asked how he created such a masterpiece,
Yeah.
Michelangelo said he simply chipped away the excess stone
Right.
to reveal the David that was already there.
So our ideal selves are already within us,
Yes.
just waiting to be uncovered.
Yes.
I like that.
It's a beautiful idea, isn't it?
Yeah. But don't we need a chisel of some sort to do the chipping?
Well, that's where having a clear vision comes in,
Okay.
a strong internal image of who you want to be.
Um,
Think about figures like Gandhi
Okay.
or Martin Luther King Jr. They had unshakable visions that fueled their actions.
It wasn't just seeing it. They felt it.
Exactly.
They lived it in their minds even before it became reality.
That's the key.
Wow.
A vision without emotion is just an idea. It needs
Yeah.
passion,
Okay.
belief to become real.
So how do we cultivate that kind of unwavering vision?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when doubt creeps in?
Right.
Life can throw some serious curveballs.
Oh, it does. It does.
So what keeps that vision strong?
Well, Dispenza points to meditation
Okay.
as a key tool.
Okay.
Now, in Tibetan, the word for meditation means to become familiar with.
Okay.
And it's really about self-observation,
Okay.
not about emptying your mind or anything like that.
Okay, so it's like training our minds to focus, like
Exactly.
those piano players practicing creating new neural pathways.
Exactly. Meditation helps bridge that gap
Right.
between our conscious and unconscious minds,
Okay.
creating space to actually rehearse our desired future, literally changing our brains from the inside out.
This is pretty inspiring.
It feels like we have more control than we realize.
We do.
But before we dive into the practical steps,
Yeah.
let's pause here for a moment.
Okay.
We'll be back shortly to explore how we can actually rewire our brains. For real.
Sounds great.
All right, see you soon. We're back and ready to get into the nitty-gritty,
Yes.
Like, how do we actually rewire our brains
Yeah.
and our habits? For real.
For real.
And it's one thing to talk about the power of thought,
Right.
but how do we make these concepts actionable?
Well, it all starts with recognizing that we're not just passengers
Okay.
in our own lives.
Okay.
We have the power to choose,
Yeah.
Yeah, who we want to be,
Right.
how we want to experience the world.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
But it can also feel a little overwhelming,
I understand.
We have all this amazing potential,
Yeah.
but change takes effort
Yeah.
and commitment. So where do we even begin?
You're absolutely right. It's not a quick fix.
Right.
It's a journey,
Okay.
a journey of self-discovery. Okay.
And Dr. Dispenza, he outlines a process
Okay.
that involves several key steps.
Okay.
And the first is becoming aware
Okay.
of your current thought patterns and habits.
So, like, what are those automatic thoughts that kind of pop up throughout the day?
Exactly what actions are you taking without even thinking?
So it's about becoming like a keen observer of
Yeah.
our own minds.
Yes.
Really paying attention to those thoughts and behaviors,
Yeah,
but without judging ourselves, right?
exactly. That's the key.
Okay.
Once you have a clear understanding of your current state,
Uh-huh.
then you can start to identify the thoughts and habits
Yeah.
that are no longer serving you.
Okay, so the things that might be holding us back from
Yeah.
living the life we truly desire.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say I've identified some negative thought patterns.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'm constantly doubting myself.
Okay.
How do I actually shift those thoughts?
That's a great question.
Yeah, they feel so ingrained sometimes.
Well, this is where the B part of the Think model comes in.
Right.
You start by embodying the feeling
Okay.
of the person you want to become.
Okay.
So if you want to be more confident,
Right.
act as if you already are.
So instead of waiting to feel confident before I take action,
Yeah.
I act confidently first, and then the feeling will follow.
It's like planting a seed.
Okay.
You don't wait for the flower to bloom before you water it.
Yeah.
You nourish it with consistent action,
Okay.
and eventually the flower will emerge.
Okay, that makes sense for thoughts.
Yeah.
But what about those deeply ingrained habits,
Yeah.
I have this really bad habit of procrastinating,
Okay.
and it's been a struggle for years.
Uh-huh.
How do I break free from something like that? It just feels so automatic sometimes.
Well, habits, even the negative ones,
Right.
they're formed because they provide us with some kind of reward,
Okay.
even if it's just a temporary feeling of relief or comfort.
Okay.
So to break a habit, you need to replace it with a
Right.
new behavior.
It provides an even greater reward.
So instead of reaching for my phone when I'm feeling stressed,
Mm-hmm.
I could go for a walk or listen to music,
Yeah.
practice meditation or something.
Exactly. Find
Yeah.
something that gives you a more
Okay.
positive feeling.
Okay.
But remember, consistency is key.
Right.
Just like building those new neural connections.
Yeah.
It takes time and effort
Okay.
to establish new habits.
All right.
So don't be discouraged if you slip up occasionally.
Right. It's all part of the process.
It's like learning a new dance.
Okay.
You're not going to get all the steps right away.
Right.
It takes practice.
This is making me realize that breaking a habit isn't about willpower
No.
or like forcing myself to do something I don't enjoy.
Yeah.
It's more about finding healthier,
Yes.
more fulfilling ways to meet my needs.
That's a great way to put it.
But what about our emotional responses?
Yeah.
Those feel so hardwired.
They do.
Can we really change how we react to things?
That's a great question.
Yeah. And it leads us to one of the most challenging,
Okay.
but also most rewarding aspects of rewiring our brains.
Yeah.
Changing our emotional responses. We
Yeah.
all have certain emotional triggers
Right.
that evoke these automatic responses.
Right. Like somebody cuts you off in traffic and you instantly feel anger.
Exactly.
Or you receive criticism and you just feel shame.
Yeah,
Or defensiveness.
that's right.
But what if we could choose how we respond to these triggers?
That would be amazing, wouldn't
That'll
it?
be amazing.
It takes effort,
Yeah.
but it's absolutely possible.
Okay.
So Dr. Dispenza, he talks about creating a new mind
The new mind.
by consciously choosing a
Yeah.
different emotional response. So
Right.
let's say you're triggered by criticism.
Right.
Instead of reacting defensively,
Okay.
you could choose to see it as an opportunity for growth.
So it's about hitting the pause button
Yes.
before we react.
Yes.
Becoming aware of the emotion.
Yes.
And then consciously choosing a different response.
Exactly like rewiring the circuitry of our
Ooh.
brains.
I guess that's where the think part of the model
Yeah,
comes in.
exactly.
Right.
With practice, we can create new neural pathways
Okay.
that lead to more positive
Right.
and empowering emotional responses.
It's like creating a new mental habit.
It is. It is.
But it's not just about our internal world, right?
Right.
Our environment plays a role too.
Absolutely.
You know, I've heard that before, like what we surround ourselves with
Yeah.
has an impact on how we think and feel.
It does.
But how do we actually create a supportive environment for change?
Well, remember, our
Mhm.
thoughts and feelings are influenced by the people we surround ourselves with,
Oh.
the information we consume,
Okay.
even the physical spaces we inhabit.
Right.
It's like trying to grow a delicate flower in a
Yeah.
harsh landscape.
Yeah.
It needs the right conditions to strive.
So if we're constantly bombarded with negativity
Yeah.
or surrounded by people who reinforce our limiting beliefs,
Yeah.
it's going to be much harder to make those changes stick.
Absolutely.
Right.
In the same way, our minds need nurturing
Okay.
to support our growth and transformation.
So that means being mindful of the company we keep,
Yes.
the books and podcasts we consume,
Exactly.
even the way we decorate our homes.
That's right.
And don't underestimate the power of nature.
Oh, yes.
Spending time outdoors can be incredibly restorative.
Absolutely. I agree.
I definitely feel more relaxed
Yeah.
and clear-headed after a walk in the park.
Me too.
But how do we know if we're actually making progress?
That's a great question.
You know, on this rewiring journey, are there any signs we should be looking for?
One of the most obvious signs is a shift in your energy levels
Okay.
as you break free from those old patterns
Right.
and embrace new ways of being.
Okay.
You'll likely experience this surge in energy
Oh,
and vitality.
So it's like shedding old baggage.
Yes.
And stepping into a lighter,
Yes.
brighter version of ourselves.
Yes, Mick.
More energy, more clarity.
Yeah.
Less weighed down by the old stuff.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Yeah,
You might also notice a change in your relationships,
it's true.
right? As you become more aligned with your true self,
Yeah.
you'll naturally attract people
Yes.
who are supportive of your growth and transformation.
Exactly. People who resonate with the new you.
What about those negative thoughts
Yeah.
and self-doubt? Do they ever completely disappear?
That's a great question.
Or is it more about just managing them?
Well, it's important to remember that we're all human
Right.
and we'll always have moments of doubt
Right.
or insecurity.
Yeah.
The key is not to let those thoughts control us.
So it's more about becoming aware of those thoughts,
Yeah.
acknowledging them without judgment,
Yes.
and then choosing to focus on the positive.
Exactly like training a puppy.
Okay.
You gently redirect their attention
Right.
when they start chewing on the wrong thing.
Yeah. It's about building that mental muscle
It is.
of choosing positive thoughts and emotions.
Mm.
The more we practice,
Yeah.
the stronger that muscle becomes.
It does.
This is all incredibly empowering.
It is.
It feels like we're not just talking about changing our habits,
Yeah.
but like creating a whole new way of life.
And that's exactly the point.
Yeah.
It's about becoming the architects of our own destinies.
I love that.
Yeah, shaping our lives with intention and purpose.
This deep dive has given me so much to think about.
Good.
But before we jump into specific tools and techniques,
Yeah.
let's take a moment to absorb all this.
Yeah. Take a breath.
We'll be right back to explore the how of rewiring our brains and habits for real. We're back, and I am ready
Yeah.
to dive into that practical toolkit,
Yes.
for rewiring our brains and habits.
Let's do it.
We've covered the why.
Yes.
We've covered the what.
We have.
Now let's explore the how.
Exactly.
What specific techniques
Yeah.
can we actually use
Yeah.
to make this transformation happen?
Well, we touched on it a little bit earlier, but one of the most powerful tools is meditation.
Okay.
And it's not just about, sitting in lotus pose and chanting Om.
Right.
There are so many different types of meditation,
Right.
from mindfulness practices to guided visualizations.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
No, it's not.
It's more about finding a style of meditation that fits your personality and your goals.
Exactly.
But how does meditation actually help us rewire our brains?
That's a great question.
Like, what's happening up there during those quiet moments?
Well, when you meditate,
Yeah.
you're essentially training your mind to focus.
Okay.
You're strengthening those neural pathways
Right.
that are associated with attention,
Okay.
concentration, and emotional regulation.
So it's like building mental muscle.
Yes, exactly.
The more we meditate, the better we become at managing our thoughts and emotions.
That's the idea.
Kind of like those piano players we talked about.
Yes.
Building those neural connections
Exactly.
through consistent practice.
Yeah. Yes, consistent practice is key.
So as we develop a stronger sense of self-awareness through meditation, we become more conscious of our habitual patterns
Exactly.
and better equipped to make those deliberate choices.
Yes. You're not just reacting on autopilot anymore.
We're taking control.
You are.
Okay, so meditation is a foundational practice.
It is.
What other tools can we add to our rewiring toolkit?
Well, another powerful technique is visualization.
Visualization.
Yeah, remember Dr. Dispenza's concept of remembering your future?
Yeah.
It's all about intentionally creating those vivid mental images of the outcomes that you desire.
So we're not just daydreaming here.
Oh.
We're actively crafting a mental picture
Yeah.
of our ideal reality.
Exactly.
Engaging all our senses to make it feel as real as possible.
That's it. Don't just see the outcome,
Right.
but feel it.
Feel it?
Hear it, smell it, even taste it if you can.
Right.
The more real you make it in your mind,
Yep.
the stronger those neural pathways become.
It sounds like we're planting seeds
Yes.
in the garden of our minds,
Beautiful.
nurturing them with, vivid imagery
Yes.
and focused intention.
I love that analogy.
But what about those pesky weeds
Oh, yeah, those weeds.
of self-doubt
Right?
and negative beliefs?
Yeah, how do we deal with those?
Yeah, how do we deal with those?
Well, affirmations
Yeah.
can be a powerful tool for tackling those weeds.
Okay.
It's about consciously choosing positive and empowering statements
Right.
that align with the person you want to become.
So instead of saying, like, I'm not good at this,
Yeah.
I could say, I am capable and resourceful.
Exactly.
It sounds a bit cheesy, but I can see how repeating those positive statements
Mm.
could actually start to shift those negative beliefs.
It might feel a bit strange at first,
Right.
but remember, you're essentially reprogramming your subconscious mind,
Right.
replacing those limiting beliefs with more empowering ones.
I like it.
And don't underestimate the power of gratitude. Yeah, taking time each day to appreciate the good things in your life,
Right.
big or small,
Yeah.
it can have a profound impact.
So gratitude isn't just about feeling good in the moment.
No.
It's actually a tool for rewiring our brains.
Yes.
For more positivity and abundance.
Exactly. Gratitude is like a magnet.
Okay.
The more you appreciate what you have,
Yeah.
the more you open yourself up to receiving.
Oh, this is all so incredibly empowering.
It is.
Feels like we have a whole arsenal of tools,
We do.
at our disposal
We do.
to create the lives we desire.
That's the point.
Meditation, visualization, affirmations,
Yes.
gratitude.
Yes.
It's like a recipe for transformation.
It is.
And remember, it's not about using every tool all the time.
Right.
It's about finding the practices that resonate with you
Exactly.
and incorporating them into your daily routine
Yeah.
in a way that feels sustainable.
Yes. Find what works for you.
This deep dive has been such an incredible journey.
It has.
We've explored the power of thought, the importance of consistency,
Yeah.
the quantum nature of reality,
Right.
and even some practical techniques for rewiring our brains and habits.
Oh, you did it.
I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but my mind is buzzing with possibilities.
Mine too.
This has been amazing.
It has.
The journey doesn't end here, though, right?
It doesn't.
It's an ongoing process
Yes.
of self-discovery,
Mm-hmm.
growth, and transformation.
Absolutely.
We've got to keep learning.
Yes.
We've got to keep practicing
Keep practicing.
and keep believing in our own potential.
Yes. I love it.
Thank you so much for joining us today
It was my pleasure.
on this journey of exploration and empowerment.
Yes.
Remember, you have the power to create the life you desire.
You do.
Start today
Yes.
and never stop believing in yourself.